I mean, obviously, I'm still celebrating this huge win Georgia had over Auburn today. Just a massive win in a rivalry game. 5-0, won 22 straight games, back-to-back defending national champions. Just absolutely unbelievable. But this Ole Miss LSU game might be the wildest game of the year so far, if y'all aren't watching this thing. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. LSU just scored. This is going to make it a 3-point game, 2-point game. But back and forth, almost 100 points scored, 1,000 yards of offense. One of the worst calls you'll ever see on a LSU touchdown. It was clearly not a touchdown. They called it a touchdown. LSU fans out here impersonating Tennessee fans, throwing all kinds of shit out on the field, which is normally a Tennessee move pulled by the Ole Miss fans today. And yeah, it was a bad call, but come on, what's the point of throwing stuff on the field? It's not going to change it. It's a bad call, but 49-47, LSU up by 2. Notre Dame and Duke. I mean, still a game, 10-0 at halftime. Duke's playing good defensively. Offensively, they're struggling. They're having a hard time really doing anything. Notre Dame's up 10-0 at halftime, so we'll see if Duke can come up with something in the second half. That's the thing. You can say, well, Notre Dame kind of dominated the first half. They did. Notre Dame's up 10-0 though, so Duke's one play away from being right back in this game. You know what? That could be a turnover, it could be a special teams play, some sort of scoop and score, and a pick six, a kick return, whatever. One play away from being back in this thing. Notre Dame 10, Duke 0. Might be worth watching in the second half. They're showing the highlights of the Colorado Southern Cal game from earlier. Well, I'm telling you, boy, these Southern Cal fans, I wonder how long they're going to hold on to hope. The Southern Cal fans. Oklahoma fans held on to hope for 3 or 4 years. I don't know. This is only year 2 for Southern Cal. Southern Cal's a really good team with a great offense. Potential to make the playoffs. It's going to be tough for anybody to get out of the Pac-12. It's a brutal league. But Southern Cal's a playoff potential team. They'll lose in the first round. It won't matter who they play. It won't matter where they play. Southern Cal's defense is just horrific. And this isn't, Southern Cal's going to say, well, it's only year 2. This is an 8-year Lincoln Riley problem now. Has he been coaching 8 years now? 8 years of having one of the worst defenses in the country. I don't understand. Almost let Colorado come back and win that thing. It came down on onnsides kick at the end. Just humiliating defensively. Yet again for a Lincoln Riley team. Tennessee and South Carolina. Tennessee's got pick 6 there right at the end of the first half. That's going to hurt Carolina. Carolina needed those kind of things to go their way, probably, if they were going to win today, not Tennessee's way. Tennessee was hanging in there, the usual Beamer ball shit, fake punts, going forward on 4th down, all that kind of stuff. And it was working. They were hanging in there. They were only down 7, but they backed up, and Rattler made a bad decision, throws a pick 6 there. Tennessee runs it in for a touchdown. Rattler's played okay besides that pick 6, but he hasn't played at the level that, you're like, wow, he's got to play lights out for them to have a chance. He really hasn't played at that level, and they can't run the ball that well. Tennessee offensively has looked pretty good, especially running the ball. And Tennessee defensively, honestly, has played pretty well too. But instead of going to halftime down 17-10, Carolina goes to halftime down 24-10 to Tennessee because of that pick 6 there at the end. Thoughts for Brew McCoy, too. A really bad-looking injury about midway through the second quarter there. It looks like a broken leg is what it looked like. It was, if you saw it, you saw it. It's not. It's one of those things I'm probably not going to show any replays of it. But, man, you feel for any injury. But you just hate to see that. It was awful. Just awful. And they had done a segment like right before the game started, or it might have been during the game, about because Brew McCoy's from California. I think it's California. I know it's out west. Anyway, they did a segment about how his parents and I think his sister or something had flown into Knoxville for the game today, and it was a big deal and all that. And like I said, you hate to see something like that happen to anybody at any time, any kind of injury. But this just seems bad all the way around. It seems like a pretty significant injury, and, it happens with his parents there and all that. You just hate to see that. We'll see how these games wrap up. The Alabama-Mississippi State game is kicking off. That was a late kick, 9 Eastern. Boy, this LSU Ole Miss, I can't take my eyes off this LSU Ole Miss game. I want to watch, and I have been watching Tennessee, South Carolina. I want to watch Duke Notre Dame, and I have kind of been watching it, but you just find yourself drawing back to this LSU Ole Miss game, just an old school kind of track meet up and down the field type of game here. 49-47. Unbelievable. LSU up by 2. We'll run through a few other things here. Oklahoma was struggling for a while today with Iowa State, which surprised me. Into the third quarter, they're up 40-20, but that game was close for a while. Anything else? Georgia Tech got blown out by Bowling Green. That's funny to me. That's funny. Georgia Tech, boy, they can't get out of their own way. Iowa's beating Michigan State 10-9. Iowa, boy, they just can't. They can't score. They're not going to hit that 25-point threshold that they have to have for the offensive coordinator to keep his job. West Virginia down 14-7 to TCU. Virginia Tech up 14-7 over Pittsburgh. No score in the Alabama game. 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of that one. Anyway, that's your halftime update for the primetime games. Man, it feels good to be 5-0. Back-to-back champs. Number 1 team in the country. 122 games straight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, 2nd and 5. I can't take. I got to get back to this LSU Ole Miss game. Y'all have a great one.